Good day, members of the Black community, and welcome to a really important information sharing session of how to evolve in a cultural diverse society. As we all know, we live in an ever-growing society where it is necessary to communicate to the other. Who am I referring to when I say the other? I am speaking about someone who is not of the same culture, who does not speak the same first language, someone whose beliefs are different to mine. In short, the other is someone who we perceive as different. Why do we need to communicate across cultures, you ask? Well, I'm glad you're asking. As I mentioned before, we're living in a society that is constantly growing with new cultures and new languages, which means that this could in turn affect our jobs if we are working with a large amount of customers. It affects our workplaces as we might have to work with the others, and there are many more examples that I could mention. Now, I know it's not going to be easy to start speaking to someone who has different views of things that you have. Thus, the reason for my presentation. What I am aiming to accomplish through this presentation is to make you, the community, aware of the different barriers found in cross-cultural communication and how we can overcome these barriers. So what are barriers? Barriers are influencing factors which impede or break down the communications loop. They block, distort, or alter information. In layman terms, barriers are something that gets between you communicating with the other. There are 6 barriers within cross-cultural communications. These barriers are ethnocentrism, stereotyping, prejudice, discrimination, fear, and cultural imperialism. I know this seems like a lot of information, but I will try and make it as simple as possible. Let's start off with the various definitions of these barriers. What is ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism is the emotional attitude that one's own race or culture is superior to all others. Simple enough to understand, right? Well, let's make it simpler by making use of an example. So in this picture, we see a lady in a bikini and another wearing a burqa. Now look at the thoughts each woman has. Both of these ladies are comparing the other's culture to their own. Now let's watch a short clip of the comedian Trevor Noah, which is another example of comparison between cultures.
And you know what, I understand. We live on different sides of the globe, so it's fine. The language will evolve. This is something I've come to understand. But I hope I change one thing in your hearts forever. Just one thing. And that is that animal in the wild that looks like a horse. It has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor. From now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra. Yeah? Just like it's not Debra, it's Deborah. Same structure of word. Plus you cannot name them because you do not have them. Zebra. It's madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world. You know? With the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process, you know, everything goes into each other, and out here you have imperial, which is fine. I mean, I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things, like for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg, milligrams, mg, milligrams. And you guys have ounces, which you then abbreviate OZ. There's no Z in the word ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me, please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS.
Let's move on to the next barrier, which is stereotyping, which is one we as a community do on a daily basis. Stereotyping is defined as a socially shared set of beliefs about traits that are characteristic of members of a social category. What do they mean when they say this? All this means is stereotyping is the preconceived ideas we have about a culture before we even get to know what it is all about. There is an example. In this picture, the British are perceived as posh people. Females are perceived as just being a pretty face. Muslims are perceived as terrorists and gays perceived as feminine. Now, for the next three barriers, I will just be giving you brief definitions, as I see some of you are already dozing off. Prejudice can be seen as the negative feeling or attitude towards a person or group, even if it lacks basis. Discrimination refers to negative actions toward members of a specific social group that may be manifested in avoidance, aversion, or even violence. And fear can be described as the feeling of intimidation you have towards a group of other people. To make an example using all three of these barriers, let's take a look at the country Iraq. As soon as I meet someone from Iraq, I will already be prejudiced towards this person due to the way the media portrays this country. We always see them as part of some terrorist attack. Thus, I end up discriminating the person, maybe trying to avoid them due to the fear I have, which in end inhibits my ability to communicate with the person. Our final barrier is cultural imperialism. This could be seen as the practice of promoting a more powerful culture over a least-known culture. Now, we are all guilty of doing this, even without noticing it. Think, I am making this up. Let's have a look at this example. Beauty has been imperialized and westernized by the famous Kardashian Jenner sisters. If you do not have an hourglass body, feet, eyebrows, and full lips, well then you're just not pretty enough. This seems like a bad example, but if we're looking at the growing numbers of females going through cosmetic surgery, applying tons of makeup just in order to feel beautiful according to society. These barriers seems like it's nothing, but it can cause damage. An example of, I work in a large corporate company, and on a daily basis, I have to work hand in hand with people from other cultures. If I let any of the barriers get in my way of being able to communicate to my colleagues, I put my quality of work at risk. So how can we as a community overcome these barriers and truly become the rainbow nation we claim to be? If we just keep in mind what Emmanuel Lottie says, in some ways, we are like all others. What he means by this, we are all human. We are all made up of blood, cells, DNA, etc. In some ways, we are like some others. We all belong to certain cultures. There might be many different cultures, but somewhere out there, we are in the same culture as someone else. In some ways, we are like no others. This simply means we are all individuals. We have our own beliefs, our own flaws, our likes and our dislikes. With this being said, before having one of the barriers blind you, remember that just as we grew up a certain manner, we were taught what was right and wrong, so was the other. Do not be too quick to say that what they are doing is wrong, when it is merely different from what you know. In closing, we can bridge this gap by being considerate and taking time to get to know the other before judging them. Soon we will realize that there are more similarities than there are differences. Thank you.